If you need a tool for easily building walls like in strategy games or just distributing the meshes along a path, maybe I have a right tool for you. The plugin I made is called Mesh Path 3D. If you're watching this video right when it's published or around 1 week, it could be not already be at asset library because there's little time that should pass before it will be published. But it's already can be downloaded from the GitHub page. You just need to download the Mesh Path 3D folder and copy it to your project add-ons folder. After that, don't forget to, in project settings, enable the plugin and you're good to go. We need to instantiate Mesh Path 3D node. And here is all the basic settings. You need some meshes that you will use. In my case, it's blank. I use this mesh to build walls like a wood wall from the planks. So in my example, I have 3 meshes saved in my project. And you will go to mesh path, meshes, and here is the meshes array. Open it, add the meshes you want to use, like this. Also, there is allow partial and random pick. By default, it spawn all in order. This one the first, the second, the third, and again from the first one in a row. Random pick, it will randomly pick the next one to spawn. Allow partial, it's, let me show you. You also need the pass node. You can create it manually and set it here, or just press the button set up default pass. It will create the pass for you and you're good to go. Pick the pass. Here it already got 2 points. I'll select this one and move it. Okay. Back. Yes. By default, the meshes are facing the pass itself. If you want to disable it, it's in the transform. Here is the mesh pass face Y and just disable. And the allow partial. When you extend the pass, you may see that the pass is already spawning even if it's not enough place and it's moving. That's allow partial. So it will spawn when it can do it, even if it's not enough space for the next one. If you disable it, it will spawn the meshes only when it's enough place for the next one, like this, and they will appear instantly. If you need to use any material, you can set under material property any you like. I got the stylized material. It uses a shader to draw this surface. It will be published soon to the Godot shaders and be free to all of you if you like to use it. And let's add some spacing between them because they are overlapping by default. Under spacing, here's a gap min and gap max. So you can pass and it will set min and max and it will randomly pick gaps for each new mesh. If the gap max is below 0, it's mean only use the static gap min for every mesh. Let's use 1 and it won't change because it uses all the data it already been set for the existing meshes. It will use all the new data for new meshes. So if I'll extend, you will see they get the bigger gap between them. So you need or to remove them manually and respawn, or just in utils you got button to clear and re-render like this. Let's make bigger gap, and again here we go. Easy and simple. It will work if you got more than 2 points. Let me add few. The points are on different positioning by all the 3 axes. That's why the meshes are rotating, because they are going by the path. If I will move any of them, the meshes will spawn again and move accordingly. Okay. What else can we do here? We got the margins for the edges. So if you wanna set any spacing at the end or at the start of the path, you can just use margins. So there will be some extra space at start and extra space at the end. Here it is. It doesn't highlight for now. Maybe I will make it in further updates. If I will set gap, let's say from 1 to 3, it will be now randomly pick each new gap, and here you can see random gap between the meshes. Okay, random pick. It will right now it's spawning by order, first, second, third, and so on. With random pick, each new mesh is a random one, so it can be 3 the same in the row and so on. Or you can just press randomize. It's like clear render, but also randomize all the meshes, the mesh type, like this. What else do we get? Collisions. You can pick a type of collision you want to spawn, like static, animated, rigid, area, and bake the collision. It will take the current mesh's data and add a new body, collision body, single or multiple. Single is one collision body for all your meshes. You can see it fitting all the meshes, like a static body. It uses box collision by default. Here it is. Or you can bake the collision per each mesh, like this. Every mesh will have a separate collision, a static collision in my case. Static body is a box. Besides baking collisions, you can bake the meshes themselves. Under the bake group, there are 3 buttons. Bake single, it will bake all the meshes in one single mesh. Here it is. Let me move it here. All your meshes you were playing around, but like one mesh. And by default it uses the same material that you're set to use here in the mesh path. You can bake them all separately. If you need each mesh to be a separate mesh so you can animate it or play with it, it's bake multiple. As much meshes as we used to have here. And you can bake them alongside with the collisions. Bake multiple, so you bake all the meshes as separate and under their static body in my case. If you will pick under collision group other body, it will use it here. Also, you can bake them in separate sub-container. You saw that by default it's just baking them here as child of mesh path. If you want them to have a separate container, just enable it and you will have a node container. Also, you can use one more sub-container where it could be useful. The container is one for all baked meshes. So if you bake multiple, it's one container for all of them. But if you need a container per each, it's a separate sub-container. Each of them will have its own 3D node wrap. You can combine the both, has a one for all and also separate for each one. And you can bake a sibling, so it will be child node for mesh path, but for its parent node here. And you can, after that, clearly free the mesh path without moving the mesh around the tree. Okay. Also, we can adjust transforms. Right now, you see that all meshes spawn under their initial sizes. What if you need some rotations, offsets, scales? All of that is right here. We already used the to turn off so they don't face the path. Same you can do for X and Z. And here is the flip options, so you can easily flip them. Let's flip under the, I don't know, clear render. Here you see under X they flipped. Also, we can use rotation. You set any angle by each axis you want. Let's rotate them by X, I think. And again, it won't appear for the old meshes, only for the new one. If you want to enter the old one, just clear and re-render. And here you see they use rotation by X. Let's make smaller gaps. Okay. And yeah, there are a little issue with spacing calculations. I will fix that in further updates. For now, you will, after you set the rotation scaling, you need to adjust the spacing for your needs manually. Okay, and you see there's mesh rotation and mesh rotation 2. If you want to have random rotations between this one and this one, from min to max, you need to enable random rotation. And now it uses mesh rotation as min value and mesh rotation 2 as max value. Let's say some 0, 0, 0 to, I don't know, all 30. And here we go. Each new mesh now will have a random rotation between the values we just set. Okay, same we have for mesh offset. By default, it will use this offset for each mesh, or you can enable random, and now it will random between mesh offset and mesh offset 2. Same for scale, and also you can enable uniform scale. Like if you want the x value be used for y and z accordingly, just enable it, and if you set here like 0.5, it will use 0.5 for all of them. And the last one, it's internal. Here you can adjust how often it re-render when you change the path width, so call re-render and other stuff. Like now, by default, it uses it's update each 2 frames. Not each frame, but each 2 frames in physics process. If you, I don't know, have lower CPU and need more performance while you're working in the editor, you can just increase this value. It will feel less smooth because now it renders only each 10 frames like I picked, but it will save you a lot of performance in the editor. And there is the last one, the processor option. This one allows you to control each mesh separately when it's rendered here in the editor, or when it's baked. It's like you can call your scripts and they will be used in the mesh path pipeline. So you can control how are they baked, what parameters are applied, or how are they rendered, and so on. Any things you would like to have manual control. In my case, this stylized wood surface, it's a shader material, but if you open the shader, there will be no colors to pick, but there are. I just used this parameter as instance, so I can set them per mesh separately. And such things you could control using processor. Let me show you. I will bake them. Bake multiple. Here are they. And let's pick one of them. And here instance shader parameters, and I can adjust now it colors, but it's the same material, it's the same shader, but it can has its own parameters, so I can adjust its view. It's very good for the performance because it's one draw call for one material, but I can adjust them separately. And for this case, when I bake them and I would like to have some random parameters to set for each one, or when they are just rendered here, you could use the processor. I will cover this one, how to use it, in a separate video. It's pretty much simple, but it will require some coding. Here is a small example of making a fence. Let's grab our path and adjust the crease. Let's move it a bit further from this side by the same amount. Here are our meshes. Now, if we enable the facing the path, they will go like this, but it's not how the fences work, so let's turn it off and set the rotation by Y for 90 degrees and re-render. Not what I would like. Oh, okay, facing and rotation both. And now we got this little nice fence. And all you've got to do now is to randomize if you don't like the meshes order to get new options, and play with the scale and the gap, so you could make it bigger or lower. Let's try 0.2 like this, and here you go. little nice fence. And that's it for now. Hope this was useful. Please like, subscribe, and see you in the next one.